This guide right here is going to focus on teaching you how to get the Secrets of the Obscure weapon mastery training. Okay, so first, before we start getting to the actual guide, first off a quick little primer for anyone who doesn't know what this is, in case you stumbled onto this video because of the thumbnail or something. Basically what this allows you to do is, if you've played Guild Wars 2 for even a little while, you've probably figured out, hey, some weapons are linked to certain specializations only. I'll give you a great example. Berserker for Warrior is used to be the only thing where you could go and actually equip a torch in your offhand as Warrior and then start flinging it around and smashing it on the floor and setting things on fire and stuff like that. So now, with this new update from Secrets of the Obscure, you're able to go and get weapons such as the offhand torch for Berserker on your character without having to actually train the Berserker specialization. I'm going to right now show you what I mean. So if we go in here into Hero Training and we go down here, as you can see, I have barely unlocked Catalyst. I haven't unlocked it fully, but I guarantee you, even if I didn't have Catalyst fully unlocked, I'd be able to equip the hammer. And also, if we go into my build here, I've got Earth, Arcane, and Fire, and these are all base traits from the base game, meaning I shouldn't normally be able to equip Hammer. But if we just go into my inventory and scroll down to this hammer I got from first training Catalyst, boom, there you go. I now have all the Catalyst hammer skills, and I can use them. I don't even know what they do. I haven't even used hammer before, but I equipped the hammer, so that shows you, yeah, it's possible. Real short disclaimer about this, though. I do not know how effective you will be using a weapon that you have not trained specialization for, because a great example is, again, we're going back to Berserker, a class I know really, really well. With that, there are a lot of traits specifically that come with Berserker that will make your torch skills much, much better. Like, a really great example is, well, when you use the torch, you do increased fire damage, and then there's also another one with, like, when you have any kind of flame around you, it creates like a fire halo around you, like a little shield bubble, and that protects you from damage. All that stuff's going to be null and void if you equip a weapon that your class doesn't have the specialization for, so you may be at a little bit of a disadvantage for this. Now that disclaimer is out of the way, one last disclaimer. You will need not Heart of the Obscure, you will need Secrets of the Obscure, the expansion, in order to get this thing. If you do not have it, you'll straight up not be able to unlock it, because you need to complete a story step I'm going to cover in this, and then you also need to talk to a dude. Okay, so the reason why the video is cut here all of a sudden is because, kind of awkwardly as well, is because I need to explain something very, very important, because there's a certain thing that you really shouldn't confuse and get a misconception about, because you may be severely disappointed with my guide. And that is the difference between unlocking the new weapons the game has provided and the ones that are factored in with specializations like this guide is covering right now. Here's what I mean. If we go onto my Elementalist here, this is actually recorded a little bit at a later date. If we go into inventory here, you can see I have a pistol. The guide that this is focusing on will not actually help you get a pistol unlocked for Elementalist, even though a later and different collection can do that. This guide here is focusing only on the weapons that you could use for specializations, such as the hammer right there, like I already shown in the guide. In fact, let's just take a really quick trip to the wiki, and I can explain this in even more detail and in a much more thorough way so you fully get it, then we can get back to the guide. Okay, here we are on the wiki, like I said we'd be. And this is, honestly, in my opinion, the best way of telling if you can and cannot use a weapon. Because if we scroll down, this is the Warrior page, by the way, since I know Warrior's the best. If we scroll down and keep scrolling down, right down to this tab that says Equipment here, then we go over and middle click this thing. This here is called Expand Weapon Proficiency. And before I middle click it, let me just explain. So, the thing that I'm covering in this guide is called Weapon Master Training, as you can see. For whatever stupid reason, the things are named really similar. Expanded Weapon Proficiency, Weapon Master Training. It both has weapon in the name, so I can understand why we get confused. This is what we're covering in this guide. Weapon Master Training. We are not covering Weapon Master Proficiency, meaning if we middle click this, click on this tab, and move down, right here is all of the different classes listed and each of the weapons listed. Go through this yourself on the wiki if you want, or just look at what I'm looking at right here and read what each of these says. Now pay close attention to this, because all of these weapons listed here are the weapons that you will not be able to get by following this guide. Every weapon that comes from a specialization, such as torch on a warrior, hammer on a elementalist, like I was showing in the video, and torch also on a necromancer. This is what I'm just thinking of off the top of my head. It's things you will be able to use, provided you have the right expansions. If you follow my guide, everything here is what you will not be able to use, because in order to be able to use each of these different weapons listed, you will have to do a collection that comes much later in Secrets of the Obscure as you are progressing through the main story. Good. I hope that makes sense. Now this is out of the way. Let's get right back to the guide and not waste any more time. Okay, now that's all that's out of the way. Let's get to the actual guide and claiming the mastery you want. So the first thing you want to do is go into your hero panel here, go to story, and you want to go to Secrets of the Obscure and begin this story, and it will then tell you start the prologue uncertain times. So the first thing you want to do is, after that, you open up your inventory and you read the mail from your mentor. In this case, it's Ridlock. We're actually going to straight up ignore this and not even care about what they say. I also have to sound off for this because, frankly, we're just going to get to the meat and potatoes of this guide and then I'll tell you what to do. So the first thing you want to do after reading the mail from your mentor is make sure that you're in your race's home city and go into the home instance. In this case, we're going into the home instance for the Black Citadel, and we're going to have to go over to this green line over here. And unfortunately, there's going to be a lot of cuts in this video because there's a lot of parts of unskippable dialogue. In the original base game, you could just mash the next button and get through the dialogue. In this, you can't. So this reporter lady is going to wander up to you, and she's going to start talking. She is very annoying. I read her dialogue even though I have the voices off, and she just sounds very annoying in general. Basically, what I wish I could do is give her the Mass Effect treatment. If you don't know what that means, here's a clip of it happening right now.
I've had enough of your snide insinuations.
I'll make sure everyone in the Alliance sees that. Your career is over.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I wish I could deck this reporter in the face so hard she falls down to the floor like you could do with Commander Shepard in Mass Effect. I have not even fully played through that game, but when I seen that scene I was like, I love this so much. Deck the reporter. And I don't mean I hate reporters, I just get sick of annoying people like this one in the game. So anyway, like I was mentioning, when she finishes talking, she's going to give you all these character options which increase your stats for a system that doesn't matter in the game. So I'm going to pick the one that makes my character, like the nice option, the kind one, the dignified one, and then the dignified one, and the nice one, and then she gonna be like, okay, that's all well and nice and good, but I want to get to the juicy details. Give me the gossip about the situation. And your character's gonna say something about, I'll get to you in a minute, and then you get a call on the phone, thereby giving you the ultimate way out of the situation. And that's great. The bad part, the phone is a communication device that Timey gives you in the game. This is actually gonna cost an inventory slot. That's the crappy part. Yeah. You're gonna have to use this thing, because now, when you get the phone call, the phone call, this is what I'm talking about. The upgraded comms device is actually given to you by Timey. Look, and then it says use it. I'm just ignoring that, because then what you want to do next is click use. And these are all extra people you can call for an achievement. If you call every single one of them, the characters that exist in the game. I'm just gonna call the one we need to call, which is Ivan. And he's basically gonna go over plot details. I'm going to skip. So, we're going to skip past Ivan's dialogue here, because it's unimportant. I'll see you when it's finished. Okay, the dialogue is finished, and the reason why I pressed M to open the map window is because the next thing you need to do is head on down to Kessex Hills. Specifically, I think, this part. So, we're just going to, go and teleport there. You can either do that, or get there manually by going through Azura gates and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, we're here to investigate the Wizard's Tower that's disappeared. What is it, Wizard's Tower? Yeah, I know. I kind of forgot this thing existed for ages too. It is like unimportant to this place. It's just the thing that causes this town to be protected by elementals. So, now that you're here, you need to go to all the little green locations in the map, and you need to gather information. In some cases, it involves standing around like a nosy little nobody like this, and you're basically listening into the conversations of villagers. Other times, it needs you to actually fully interact with the villagers. In order to do this correctly, basically what you do is you go up to places like this, you listen to the people talk, or if you got the voices off like I have, you just wait until the speech bubbles stop appearing, and you pay attention to this bar here called information gathered. If the bar goes up, that means it was a piece of information you are supposed to listen to, like so. See? Bar went up. If it doesn't go up, that means you need to talk to someone. I made the mistake of not talking to people the first time I went here, and I sat around for a good minute and a half until I talked to my friend Arrow, who was in a voice call with when we were doing this story step for the first time for me, and I was like, hey, yeah, why isn't it going up? And he's like, you need to talk to people. And I was like, the game didn't tell me that, and I still want to slap the game for that, because it didn't tell me that. In fact, get this lady, Lasha, you stand near her and be like, why isn't the bar going up? This is why. You need to mash her dialogue button, and then it treats it as finished. Do. In case you can't tell, this is not my preferred way of doing events or quests or anything of the story in this game. I mean, first of all, it's unskippable, and I'm doing this now for the third time to record this to show you. And second of all, I don't find it that interesting. So yeah, we're gonna skip past these two, because these two down here are another moment of, oh, you just wait. Okay, never mind, not skipping past, I talked too long. Then the town guard here, who has the mayor skin, is another person you need to talk to. So oops, wrong button. Basically, yeah, you keep on just clicking the button, which it looks like a speech bubble with a star in it, and that's how you complete stuff, because any other option is just gathering additional information. You can read that yourself if you're playing this for your first time, and you're like getting immersed in the story, but this is just for completing it. These two here are also just wait until their dialogue bubbles finish. So yeah, I'm gonna put a cut in here and wait until they get done with it. Okay, they're done with it. Now we need to go back over here and speak with this mayor dude, because he has the next bunch of dialogue for us to mash through. So yeah, yep, sure man, whatever you say, I like jam toast. And now we're meant to go over to one of the terrified villagers, speak to them, and the villager's like, I'm scared, I'm gonna try and kill you now. And we're gonna be like, lol, no. And we're gonna beat them up in self-defense. Best part is, sometimes I guess you have other players here. This random Azura player doesn't even know she's accidentally featuring in a YouTube video. But yeah, there you have it. It also counts as an event for some reason, so you get a pathetic amount of karma and a tiny bit of money. Honestly, I'm laughing because the amount is so tiny. Just look at the side of my screen. 52 karma! Thanks, Chief! I'm gonna spend that on a whole, I don't know, bit of like, candy floss from Divinities of Reach or some shit, I don't know. But yeah, now that we've done that, we need to now go up here. I really should switch mounts at some point, because we have a house to investigate. Okay, here it is. It's the one with the door open. So you're meant to go inside here, search the house for clues. First time, I couldn't find the clue, because there's all this stuff like daggers and stuff. Nah, they're all red herrings. You want to go up, and you want to go to the scroll on the table, and then you want to, quote-unquote, read it. That means we don't read it and we skip the dialogue, because now it's time to head to the Gendarren fields. So excuse me when I put another cut in the video, because I'm going to teleport myself right to Lion's Arch for my premium item, because I'm a little cheapskate who doesn't want to pay the teleportation fee via waypoints. Okay, so now that we're in Lion's Arch, and it hasn't even fully loaded in yet, we're going to go out the gate here, which I know is here because I've been here enough. And it's going to take us to the Gendarren fields, one of the earlier level zones in the game. We're going to skip this loading screen as well. So once the loading screen is thoroughly skipped, we then gonna go over to the little green thingamajig on the map telling us exactly where to go. And if memory serves me well, lady we're supposed to interact with should be somewhere over here. Yeah. The sketchy individuals. That's where you're meant to be going to. So then you want to talk to this one here, who looks like she may or may not be in charge, also named Sketchy Individual, and your character's like, hey, I just want to know what's going on here, I've never seen you people around here, I'm a local, which obviously I'm not because of how I'm dressed. And then she's going to be like, no thanks, we're cool here. So then, the game's going to tell you, get out of the area, and then use your comms device to call Ivan again. this is why, even though it takes up an inventory space, we don't want to delete it, at least not yet. And, yep, we need to wait for more dialogue to finish yet again. So, while that's happening, walk over to this lookout tower and walk up to the... Never mind, it's finished already. So yeah, we're basically going to go and wait up to the top of the tower until it's nighttime. We're literally going to do a Fallout New Vegas here. We're going to go, and we're going to enter the story instance, of course. Command without a cause. But yeah, once this finishes, our character literally does a Fallout and presses the wait button and waits for several hours up there until it turns nighttime, which I'm like, okay, Commander, you do you. I don't get why you're doing this, though. So yeah, you meant to go down and usually access the stairs, but I'm a massive rebel, so after that's done, the combat portion of this pops up, and I totally forgot to actually eat the food I have on my character. And I also forgot to mention this, but yeah, bring food. The reason why you want to bring food is because these mysterious, horrific creatures are tanky. Very, very tanky. And they are annoying to kill, and this story step takes long enough, so you want to mitigate how much stuff you have to do by killing them quicker. And food will help you kill them quicker. So that's why I recommend bring some kind of utility item, and then also bring some kind of item that it's like something that increases your power or your ferocity or condition damage or anything that helps kill stuff. You can also, I guess, bring stuff that makes you more tanky, but it's your choice. So yeah, once we've done killing those horrific things, it's going to then tell us to hide in the bushes, and we're going to ignore this pop-up. Basically, the pop-up's like, okay, now the pop-up's telling us that we gotta Metal Gear Solid this. So the first thing we want to do is eavesdrop on the leader, like the thing the game just told us to. And now we need to walk around and gather information from certain parts of this area. You have a bar here, and it fills up when you are inside the guards, and that's like your suspicion meter. But we can also get supplies over here. Like we can just grab their armor, put it on, and they'll hopefully be none the wiser. You can also, as well as going inside the bushes, walk over to bystanders and press F to interact to them, and you just start talking to no one, looking like an absolute buffoon. But apparently, according to the game, this is actively making you less suspicious. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of this part of the mission. So yeah, we're gonna like totally be non-conspicuous and hide in these bushes because when one of those, like, when you get near some of the bushes and one of those little like green magnifying glasses pop up, that means there's a bunch of bushes you need to sit next to because you're scoping out information. Like, see that bar there just went up. That's because we listened to these people over here in that tent talk, and by listen I mean we didn't give a crap about their dialogue because we're skipping through it and I have the voices off. You also want to talk to this lady over here, ask, click whatever button you want, basically using that to gather more information. There'll be another one of these people somewhere around here, but yeah, more dialogue will happen, and then up goes the bar, so we just gotta keep looking. Remember, right, there's also gonna be some people over here gathering herbs, and we need to go over here and eavesdrop on them, but it's gonna be a little somewhat easy because these bunch don't actually move away from the herbs, so their sight lines are always looking like this. Oh, by the way, have you noticed how utterly non-inconspicuous my character is? Like, she's just wearing this dinky little wizard hat and crouching in bushes that would definitely make her visible, and everyone just doesn't notice her. Yeah, but yeah, anyway. Now the scroll, I mean, okay, if you really want to pause the video and read it, here you go. But I mean, I don't see why you would. You can play this chapter yourself and then fully understand what's happening. But yeah, these two also, these Tengu bird people, they won't ever turn around. So again, we're gonna go and hide in the bushes here to eavesdrop on their conversation, to make sure basically the coding for this part doesn't break. Wait until the bar at the top there actually fills up after you go into one of these places, because leaving early could screw this up, and the last thing you want to do is have to go through all this again. Again, he is one of the mage people you meant to talk to. He's probably thinking I'm real weird now for randomly skirting around that Rift Hunter warrior lady, but yeah. And I think the last thing I meant to go is look at is this. Yes, I was right. I remembered it. It was that paper. So I think now what happens is every single one of them will kind of walk up here, and we're meant to then hide in these bushes and wait for the lady to talk about stuff so we can, I think, investigate a horn. I think I'm just... Wow. Okay, this is kind of crap. I'm in the wrong set of bushes. The game is like, hey, doofus, you need to have... It's not this set of bushes. You want the bushes, like, 5 steps over. Like 2 or something. So whatever. We're sitting in the right bushes. Playing by the game's rules. Then they're gonna talk a bunch, and then we're gonna need to go over to the horn, like I mentioned, and then we're gonna get to the somewhat actual fun part of this mission that doesn't involve sneaking around like a dirty little rat. So, yeah, more dialogue. I'm skipping through. Okay, I was gonna say I'm skipping through this, but never mind. And now, for some reason, they all don't think you're suspicious, and also you take off your disguise. So, I was double confused with this part of the game. But yeah. Oh, I think they removed the look at the horn part, because now you just, instead of the game saying just follow them, so that's what I'm gonna do in my... hey guys, I'm like one of you fellow kids. Look at me go, and my bright blue clothing. I totally fit in, don't I? Hey dude, do you like skateboard? Yeah, they do.
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Yeah, and then this thing's gonna pop up. This weird, evil-looking portal. And more of the horrific creatures are going to come out. And everyone except you is going to die because they don't have main character. They aren't the main character. Oh, that's different. So last time I was doing this, way more of them died. I guess this time a heap of them just ran into the rift because they were just like, YOLO swag, you don't live forever. For the demon here, just attempt to break its break bar if you can. If not, no biggie. Oh yeah, it also knocks you around, and it's really annoying. But the good news is, even though it might knock you around like a damn pinball, it's kind of weak. This is one of the more weaker enemies I've faced in the game. In fact, one of the only weaker things I can actually think of was in the base story, when you're up against one of Zaitan's minions. There's this legendary minion, like the Mouth of Zaitan or something, and it was just like, oh hey, look at me, I'm a legendary enemy. And the answer is, legendary my ass, because, I kicked his butt real good, and just killed him. Like it was lickety-split, like it was nothing. So, yeah, I'm gonna cut back to you once the demon's actually dead. Because you don't need to see the whole fight, it's already done every single one of its moves. So after I kid it with like 9 billion stacks of bleeding, then you're gonna get sucked into this portal. If there's a way of actually breaking away from the portal and getting away from it, don't bother, you're meant to get sucked into this weird portal, because this is the next step of the story. All hell breaks loose. So yeah, it turns out that weird evil-looking rift that was opening is actually a portal to another place. So yeah, you're gonna fall down here. That's natural, don't worry. The screen actually normally goes and turns white a second after, so the effect of, oh, you kind of knocked about and delirious with the screen turning white, for me it always goes wrong. And now it's telling you, oh hey, this place is hostile towards you. It's gonna make you nauseated, and it's also gonna randomly poison you. And now here the game's also telling you about gliding. So yeah, you kind of need gliding at this part of the story. Hopefully Secrets of the Obscure will have it unlocked for you. You may be able to unlock it through cancer or something. If you don't have gliding, I hope you got a friend with you who's either a mesmer or a thief who can teleport you over to the middle. But for now, don't worry, the game hasn't broken. We're just waiting on the thing to happen. Because we're getting talked to right now, but the game didn't have subtitles, so it looks like no one is talking to us. But yeah, this is actually the thing that's talking to us. It's something. I'm not gonna reveal it because you might want to do this story stuff, but just try and ignore the speech bubbles if you can. Yeah, he's also gonna invade your personal space, a little like Cephalon Samaras from Warframe, if you know him. If you don't worry about it. So yeah, eventually this guy's gonna attack you after a long-winded, pointless conversation. So I'm gonna skip through that. Okay, so now's the part where you say where it says defend yourself. We are not going to defend ourselves, and we are going to, I'm gonna put down my controller here on my lap, and we're gonna let ourselves die because this part of the mission is non-completable. He will kill you no matter what, so frankly just speed up the process by letting him hit you with every AoE known under the sun. The game developers are meant to make you feel like, oh, Oogly boogly, this big thing here is actually gonna kick your ass. Yeah, he's kinda unbeatable. And I'm like, okay, I feel you, game developer, to play this too many times, so I'm gonna lean into your fact and make this the lamest scene ever by having it look like my character has just gained brain death and she forgot how to fight. So yeah, gonna fall down to the floor. We're not gonna use the Jade bot either, because someone here is gonna save us. Just you wait. Any moment now. Yeah. Pretty sure it happens like this. Maybe you were meant to try and get yourself up. If I die, we're just gonna click the continue button. What do you know? It is continue from a checkpoint. Whatevs. So yeah, you were apparently meant to get yourself up while this guy just taunts you completely. And then the strange voice is like, oh, he's too strong. Yeah, you don't think I figured that out? His health bar never goes down when you hit him. You also walk slow. So yeah. We're honestly just gonna wait until this finishes, but again, it like spawns these evil shadow clones of yourself which walk towards him, which are meant to down you again. And they're meant to be scary and spooky, but they're not. You honestly just enlarged my character with an enlarging tonic, and then you went and changed the color, so she look evil now, which doesn't even look evil. I've made character look scarier than this. So yeah, we're gonna skip this. Okay, finally! The strange voice was like, hey, move! Get out of the way! And we listened. So now comes the extra part of this, which is kind of shit, where the demon's gonna try and hunt you. So you want to get into these really shitty hiding spots that he'd actually never ever be able to... They'd never work normally, but also this part's quite unfair, because once he finds you once, his head's gonna kind of turn in your direction. The game designers coded this to make it like, oh, we think we're being smart here by having the demon be like, oh yeah, he can totally find you out. And there's also the dramatic music playing in this place. But yeah, we're just gonna play this like the old analogy of like the slow turtle won the race instead of the hare. We're gonna do that. We're just gonna slowly get from spot to spot. Your dodge roll is very important here because it's one of the few skills that you can actually use to move properly and the game actually gives a damn about. Maybe you can also use little bits of teleportation here, but I'm pretty sure the game may also just disable that. But yes, see what I mean? He like walks right up to you. He walks like right up to your face. Like the AI knows where it is. This is unfairly coded. So we're gonna get out of here. God, you move so slow. Let's immediately get to the next hiding spot and hide there. And then he's gonna walk right over. The reason why we need to do this so slowly is because if he catches you, then he's straight up gonna just donk you in the face. And he will laugh and insult you. And then you're also gonna have to replay this part. You're gonna have to click retry and it'll spawn you all the way back over there. So better to be safe than sorry in this part. You've pretty much seen what you need to do because I mean, yeah, you just roll from place to place. So I'll skip ahead until the actual portal appears. Hey, look at that! It's the portal I talked about. It's almost like I have clairvoyance, which I don't. I've played this before, so that's why I knew the portal's appearing. So yeah, basically, you want to go, and you want to make sure you get from one end of the area to the other. So that hiding spot over there, I'm gonna skip it. I'm gonna wait until he walks all the way over to his little corner over there, where he can pretend to be a little bad boy. Because he's an idiot. And when he's far enough away, right, I think he might be far enough away now. Yeah, we're just gonna let him keep walking, and we're gonna just roll and get to the next hiding spot, and then wait for him to come right back over. And while he's doing that, I can mention another thing. So basically, this horribly sickened here, which is like worse than nausea, so this place is affecting you bad, continuously applies poison. Now this poison is meant to slowly get your health down and down and down, and basically act as a timer, so the game's like, hurry up, you need to complete this part. However, thanks to boosting this character to level 80, I have mango pies, which let me regenerate health every second. And I may also have traits here that let me regenerate health as well. What I'm getting at here is, what I think you should do for this part, is attempt to stack so many healing over time things that you're regenerating faster than the poison can actually hurt you. And when you're doing that, that makes this part a non-issue, because instead of having time pressure, you're like, suck it, game. I am the master of my own destiny. I don't need your stupid time pressure. Go it and shove it somewhere where I don't care. Like in a box with a lock on, and then throw it in the lake. And then here we are. The moment you hit this cutscene, I mean this loading screen, that takes forever by the way, that's when the demon can no longer hurt you because it's put you in the next game instance. So we're going to skip through this because for some reason on my PC specifically, this thing takes forever. Yeah, so basically this happens. You know you're doing the right thing when the screen, like I mean not right thing, you know the game's properly loading when all hell breaks loose is removed from the screen and it kind of zoomed in like it did before, and then also turned glowy. And then an old friend from the base game, Zoja's gonna be there for story reasons, and it's meant to be a big reveal, but we're here just to get the thing done, so we don't care. Yep, so she's gonna smirk at you, and then you're gonna need to sit right here, plant your ass down, and wait for more dialogue. Because until the dialogue is done, you haven't completed the story step, get your bearings again. This translates to sit around and be a good boy / girl. So we're gonna do that, sadly. Okay, get your bearings is now complete. We now have the pleasure of following this dude, whose name is Frode, and he will lead us into a couple of different combat locations with more evil Gribblies like we were facing before. See what I was talking about? Horrific creature, which I just named evil Gribblies. I like my name better. So this is why I was explaining that the better food is probably a good idea. Otherwise, these can take a while to defeat. Okay, on second thought, I might have just had an awful build on my feet because it was taking forever to kill stuff. This is going much faster. But yeah, in general, the little ones, you want to kill them kind of quicker because the little ones are able to buff the bigger ones with more health, and you don't want this thing taking even longer. So the good part about this story step is that unlike some parts in the base game where you're kind of confused where you're meant to go and the map is a little big, and it might be vague occasionally, here they put a nice big green star over Frode on the minimap and also over his actual head, so you always know where to go. This is kind of honestly acting a little bit like a dungeon right here. You just go from one area to the next, killing the weird demons. But yeah, that being said, a few more rooms where you just kill the evil Gribblies. So I'll skip past this until we get to the next actual little bit of game mechanics that you need to learn for this part. Okay, so here's what I was talking about. This big rift over here, when you get close to it, it'll push you away. Doesn't work. And Zoja's gonna be like, hey, I have the MacGuffin, thingamajig. MacGuffin is kind of slang in writing in the writer's circle for an object or thing in a story that is used to progress the plot. It can be whatever. So yeah, this is our MacGuffin. So we're gonna take it from her and then press F over here, and we're gonna use it to zap the rift with some kind of magical energy. You can stand still, whatever. But this is what I was talking about. This is why you might want to bring a friend, because if you have one, then you can both use this thing called the Heart of the Obscure, and you can kill these rifts faster. So now that you know how to do that, I'm gonna skip ahead for a bit again. Well, if we don't immediately get out of here and don't face any more demons, because I forget exactly how many groups of little gribbly demons you face in here. Okay, so there's one more. I'll go and skip right through this and get to the very end. So pretty much there was 2 more rifts, and now we finally get to exit this place called the Undercroft, and then we're going to be hit with the unfortunately unskippable title screen, because it's going to do the same thing it did in Ender Dragons with, like, ArenaNet presents Guild Wars 2 Ender Dragons, except this case is like Guild Wars 2 presents, and we're just like, get on with it. We don't care. So honestly, I don't know why it tells you there, find a way to get onto the floating platform, because the next actual mission objective here is not doing that. We need to go and... Okay, first off, basically what I did here is I got on my dragon here. I got on my skyscale. And, oh my god, would you just shut up, game? I don't... It's telling me everything a skyscale can do, which I already know. So basically, you're going to walk over to one of these skyscales and you're going to grab them and you're going to borrow them. But since I already have one, I don't need to do any of that. I can just do stuff normally. You're gonna unlock ability to hold down 2 while you're flying it, and you start launching fireballs at the cryptids. That's what I'm doing here, in case you're wondering. Frode, unfortunately, did not have proper skyscale training. He skipped out on classes, so he's not going to help while you're doing this. The main reason I'm doing this is to use up all the fireballs, and then I'm landing like so, and then I can use the skyscale's mount engage ability, which is number 1 when you're on the floor, to shoot a stream of fire into the evil Gwibbly demons. Oh, and the reason why I was getting pulled around then is because of this one, the Incarnation of Judgment. They're so annoying. It's not actually any rift or anything pushing me around like the game was doing before. And it's telling you, hey, you need to get on a skyscale to close these rifts, when really you don't. You can just sit here on the floor. Most of these rifts will need you to go and combat all the cryptids near them and kill them all in order to close them. But there is one here that's meant to train you to use your skyscale better. It's up here. So normally it might seem a little impossible to actually get up there, but the skyscale's got a wall cling ability which you can use. So what I'm going to do here is get up here, and you see this blue bar here? Yeah, when using a skyscale and flying up with it, by the way, you hold the jump button to fly upwards, normally space. And what you can do is you can basically fly upwards and then land on a piece of elevated terrain that was higher than before, and then from that, fly upwards a little higher and land on the next piece of terrain. Also, you can use your orange bar, your stamina bar that you normally use for dodging, and if you press your skyscale up against the wall like this, you can hold down the jump button, and you will spring off the wall, and you're able to fly higher like that. Skyscales can also thankfully hover midair like a helicopter, so we're able to close this rift here in quite cool fashion. Frode, once again, wasn't given a Heart of the Obscure, so unlike not learning how to use a skyscale, he straight up can't help you here, unfortunately. That's why I was saying it's better with a friend, because a friend will also be able to get on, either borrow or get on their own dragon / skyscale and help you with this part. But yep, no more really needs to be said. We're going to defeat the demons like the hero we are, and then I'll get back to you when every single one of them is dead and all the rifts are closed. Because there's nothing different here, besides that one rift that didn't have demons near it. I already covered that. So, now that all the rifts are finally done, I wasn't keeping track of time, don't know how long that took, but if it took you a little while, I'm kind of sorry about that. I mean, I can't do anything, it's game design, the game designers have done. I'm not the one doing the coding and making the demons strong, but yeah, anyway, the reason we're flying up here is, once again, we're trying to get leverage with our skyscale to get higher, because this platform up here I'm aiming at right now is where we need to go next. So we're going to use these little green floating islands here to one by one make our way up until we reach the very top. We're going to engage the demons here. It's telling us what I told you already by pressing number 1. You can just go and blast them with skyscale fire once you've done using all your number 2 skill. The good part about here is that you've already got allied NPCs on the platform already, so that it's impossible to have the cryptids de-aggro and walk away, which is good news. So yeah, we're going to defeat all of the smaller ones, and then this really annoying little douchebag is going to spawn, and he's going to have all kinds of area effects, and he's also going to go and try and suck you in with his annoying little demon powers. Like that. He's going to try and do that. Just try and use as much area effect stuff on him as you can. Get your friend to beat him down, because unfortunately this is yet another one of those instances in Guild Wars 2 where the NPCs are going to be of utterly, like, almost no help at all to you. It's just how it is. Frankly, the only part I remember of the story of the NPCs were actually helpful was Path of Fire. They gave them a damage boost and then proceeded to drop that design decision here for who knows what reason. I do not understand. I wish the NPCs were still deadly. But yeah, also this new guy, Mabon here, will come out of a portal and you're gonna be like, yeah, you need help. He's also about as useless as the rest of them, so unfortunately, no, he not much help. But yeah, thankfully my build here is whooping this demon's ass like no tomorrow. I'm already doing all the work here. It's gonna be dead any moment now. Looks like I don't even need to put a cut in here. So once that's done, the game is going to tell you to regroup with your allies, and this is really just different talk for the game wants you to go and listen to more boring dialogue. So we're going to skip through the first part of the boring dialogue, and then I'll show you exactly what buttons to click on to basically give the closest equivalent to a slap to all these NPCs' faces and yelling in their faces, screaming, "I don't care, give me my weapon unlock." Okay, now here's finally the part where I was talking about you can basically tell them to bugger off. So we're first going to speak to Mebon, the tall guy here, and then there's going to be more useless talking, but soon enough a dialogue box will appear, allowing us to ask him questions. And we're going to, of course, click the I don't have any questions option, because we don't care. We want the weapon unlock. And here it is. If you have at any point noticed where the video just really jumps forward, that's because there is a lot of annoying, useless dialogue to skip through, and I'm avoiding those parts because that's boring if you're watching the entire video and the characters just silently gabbing their mouths because I have the voices off. So once again with Zoja, we click the same thing. That's all for now, even though she says we all have a lot to catch up on. Yeah, hell no, like we do Zoja, not in this instance. I don't actually hate her as a character, she's actually one of my more liked ones. I am just getting through this and being practical here. So, once that's all done, you speak with Frode, and thankfully he is the last person to flap their gums here. After he's done, I think we finally get done with this story step. Yep, just choosing that option. If you can't choose the that's all for now, there's nothing else I want to talk about, you just click the white speaking bubble with the green star, and like I mentioned before, that'll get you through to the actual dialogue options that advance the story. And there you have it, the mission complete sound, and now we get a grand total of crap all rewards that really didn't give us much at all. But the important thing is, now we have access to the Skywatch Archipelago, which is where we're going to go to get the weapons training. As soon as this loading screen finishes, which I'm also going to skip through. Okay, it didn't take long at all. So, you're going to be up on this platform here, where you left off. And I'm just going to fall down and glide down because we need to be down here. Now, thankfully, the story step is actually going to immediately tell us where to go next in order to get the thingamajig they want, the weapon training. So, we're going to go over to the command center, access the door, click the button, enter the door, and then we're going to walk over and have to listen to a little bit more dialogue from Frode and Azura lady I forget the name of, even though I just scrolled, Uno, whatever. I actually scrolled over it. Okay, so after they've done uselessly talking again over here, here's another part of the mission that can potentially trip you up. You're meant to interact with her in order to progress forward. Normally, going near her normally won't do anything. The reason why my character done this is because you're actually meant to be giving her this thing, the comms device. You gave it to her, and she installed woobly-doobly magical thingamajiggies in there pertinent to the story. So, yeah. Unfortunately, after that, the characters talk more about the woobly-doobly magical thingamajiggies. Okay, so now here, we're meant to go and get out of the command center and then talk to a dude over here for more information. Now, I'm pretty sure that we could actually just run back right in there and talk to Frode to unlock the weapons training the moment he's done talking to us and he doesn't have the star above his head. But just to be on the safe side, progress this story step a little bit more until it starts getting away from this area, just to be certain. Also, another thing I suggest as well is, since we're all the way over here on the map, maybe go and teleport down to a lower area like around, I don't know, Maguma or somewhere, and then go back over here and teleport here to kind of get the game to forcefully reset itself or something like that, just to try and make sure that Frode has the correct symbol above his head where you can talk to him. In fact, we're just going to leave that guy there in the lurch and waiting. We don't have to worry about his dialogue completing because this entire guide's almost over at this point. I just want to show you one last thing. So we're going to, again, go into the Beacon of the Ages command center, go through the door, and, stupid tutorial. Hold on just a minute. Yeah, we're going to remove that. So the thing I was talking about before I was interrupted by the tutorial there and it annoyed me is with Frode, the thing you're looking for is right over Frode's head is meant to be an icon. This icon specifically, a mastery icon, so it's meant to look all yellowish like this. If this is over his head, then you talk to him, and thankfully it will take a lot shorter than all the useless dialogue I've been trying to skip through so far, and once that's done, you would then unlock weapon training, and you are able to use it on any character you wish. This is also an account-wide upgrade, so once you talk to Frode once with, let's say, this character, my primary one, I could switch to my thief, or my warrior, or my engineer, or whatever the heck I want to do, and it will be for your entire account. You don't have to do anything else. Congratulations, you now have finished this thing. In celebration, I'm going to utterly obliterate this spark for you.
First strike!
And congratulations, that's it, you've learnt the thing. Video over, bye-bye now. This really shouldn't go any longer, because this was annoying enough anyway. I try to skip through as much as I can, but NPC gonna be NPC and talk for ages and no skip button. Internet, I beg of you, please include a skip button for our collective sanity. Signed, the Gw2 community.